Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to Chocolate Covered Pages. I'm Kiona, and in today's video we are going to talk about the worst books I read in 2023. Let's get into it. Okay, so I didn't rank these. I just made a little list, so we're just gonna go through them, okay? So the first one I want to talk about is Vengeance is Mine by NDiaye. Now, I picked up this book in an effort to read more translated fiction by Black authors, right? And this woman came up while I was on my search. And this book is actually, this is her latest book that just came out. She has some other books that were pretty popular, but I said, you know what? I have access to her latest one. Let me just get it. And I had an advanced audiobook copy for it. And I am still confused to this day. Like, I am still confused to this day. I'm going to chalk it up to maybe the translation got a little murky, perhaps. Because it was just very strange. And I am someone who likes strange books. So that is saying a lot. Okay, so we meet this lawyer named Susan, right? And Susan is sitting in her office. And this guy comes in there. And the guy is saying that his wife has his wife is on trial for unaliving their 3 children. She knows about this case. She's seen it on TV and on the news and stuff. And he is saying to her he wants her to represent his wife. And she's thinking about it like, okay, you know. But then she's looking at him and she's like, you know, you look real familiar. So you telling me you don't know me? You don't know me. Like, he's like, what are you, ma'am, what are you talking about? You know, like, I saw you was a lawyer in the white pages, and I came over here to talk to you. Like, what are you on right now? And she is convinced that he is someone from her past, right? That she used to have some kind of romantic relationship with. Her mom used to clean for a rich family, and the family had a little boy. And her mom would bring her to work sometimes with her, and she would go and hang out with the boy. And she's saying that she had, you know, a little thing going with the boy. And she believes that the boy is him, right? She is talking to her parents about it. No, like, what was the name of that family? You remember the name of the family? It was such and such, right? Which is the name of this man. She keeps telling her family, like, it was them, right? It was them. And the father is like, what happened to you in the past is, you know, something terrible happened to you. He's trying to say something terrible happened to her. Her mom is saying, I don't even know what you talking about at all. Like, it wasn't this family. It wasn't this family at all. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she is just completely determined. She's literally obsessed about this. She is obsessed about proving that this man, whose wife she's supposed to be representing, right? She is convinced that this man is her old boyfriend from back in the day. Even though he's saying he don't know what the hell she's talking about, because she confronts him about this, and he is like, I don't know you, ma'am. Like, what does this have to do with my wife? Like, how is this even relevant? And I'm thinking the same thing too. How is this relevant? Are you going to represent the wife or not? Why did this woman do this to these kids? You know, it seemed like that part of the book was there for shock value. Like, it wasn't like, it didn't get explained enough for me. Okay, to go to that extreme. You know, they could have said that she killed anybody. Why them is my question. right? And the other storyline we got is she has a housekeeper, this woman from Mauritius, and she is trying to help her get her citizenship. So she's telling the woman she needs her marriage certificate, and the woman keeps saying, oh, I'm gonna find it, I can't find it, oh, I forgot, I'll bring it to you. And then she never brings this damn certificate. She works for this woman every day. The housekeeper comes every day. And when the lawyer asks her for this certificate, she just keeps saying she don't know, she don't got it. And the lawyer becomes obsessed about that as well. Like, this woman I just kept feeling like, you don't have enough going on in your life. Like, you lonely, you bored. Like, what is happening right now? Like, what is really what is the point of all this? You know, when you ever met somebody where they don't have enough going on in their life personally, so they make very minuscule things a huge to-do. It becomes a huge project, and it becomes their entire personality for like months, until something else comes up, and then they like grasp onto that thing like, okay, this is my personality now this is the thing that I'm going to keep talking about every day and driving everybody crazy about. That was this woman. That was her. And she was doing my damn head in, okay? Because I didn't want to keep reading about this damn marriage license. I did not care. I kept trying to think, what does this have to do with anything? So then the woman she just ain't going to be no citizen then. She just not going to be a citizen. If she can't get the damn certificate, okay. It is what it is. That's the end of that, you know? It just felt so... It just felt like it was just all for no reason. I just kept thinking the entire time, just keep going, Keep going. At the end, it's all probably gonna come together. That did not happen. That did not happen. I kept going, and I was just angry. I finished this book when I was at work, and I finished it, the audiobook. And I just remember just sitting at my desk just like, you really just wasted my time. Like, nothing happened. Like, this was all for nothing. That's how I feel. And I really hate that for me. I really hate that for me. Because I could have been listening to something else that was 30 hours, but really good. You know? Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. Alright, so the next book is gonna be The House in the Pines by Anna Reyes. I read this book for Latinx Heritage Month, and I was highly disappointed in this book because I was just thinking, oh, you know what? I could do a mystery thriller, right? It had just came out at the time, and I was like, this will be perfect to do. This book was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. It's about this woman named Maya. Maya has a secret addiction. I can't remember if she is popping pills. I think she's popping pills. Either she's popping pills or she's an alcoholic. One or the other. But like, let's talk for 1 second. Are we not tired of these mystery thrillers that constantly have the unhinged main character that's always a woman, by the way? It's never an unhinged man. It's always a woman. She has some kind of addiction, whether it's, drugs or alcohol. She's always unreliable. She's always like why? Who started that? Did the woman in the window start this? Because why are we continuing this trope? I don't like it. It's also like played out at this point. It's super whack. It is super whack. Please give us a story. Stop like hanging on to this whole unreliable narrator, unhinged woman that we can't believe anything she's saying because she a little cuckoo. And no, it's not gonna work. So Maya sees on the TV that a woman dies, but it like in a diner. But before the woman passes away, she is talking to this guy that Maya knows from her past named Frank. She's talking to this guy, and then immediately she passes out and she's gone. That's what she sees on the video. That's what everyone sees on the video. And she remembers that that same thing happened to her best friend back in the day, right? So Maya decides that she is going to leave the comfortable home that she has with her man, right? And she is going to leave him, and she not leave him, but she is going to leave, and she wants to go back to her hometown and try to find out what she's going to try to find Frank and find out what is going on and what really happened. And it's just like, cause when she gets there, like, she's just so out of it. Like, it's just, the storyline was terrible. Just everything about this book was just like, it was screaming for me to DNF it. It really was. It really was. But I was just like, no, let me just see. You know, it might be something. I was curious about the fact that people were passing out in front of Frank, and I wanted to know what kind of powers did Frank have to where these women were just passing out. I was curious about that. But everything else surrounding that was just real lackluster for me. It wasn't very thrilling. You will find that most of the books on this list are supposed to be mystery thrillers. I don't know. I might be a little hard on them, but it wasn't good. Like, it just wasn't. I want to be thrilled. And it's just... The next book is Like a Sister by Kellye Garrett. Now, this one probably should have been on my most disappointed list because I really had high hopes for this one, and I was actually disappointed. I was more disappointed than angry because I had seen this book around for a while. I seen this book around, and I kept saying, and it was getting good reviews. It was getting good reviews, and I was just thinking, oh, I gotta read that one. Oh, I gotta get to that book. And I was able to grab it from my Libby app. Libby's that girl, forever and always. And I got the audiobook, and I started listening to it, and I was just thinking to myself, this is it? This is the book that everybody loves. Like, clearly I read something else. I feel like maybe I read something else because this is supposed to be a mystery. This is supposed to be a mystery book where at the beginning of the book we find out that our main character's sister has died. She was killed, and she was killed in Harlem. I think she was killed in Harlem or something. And the main character is like, what was she doing over there? You know? So now she has to go to Harlem, and she has to find out. She's just kind of feeling like now she's on the case. And now she has to find out what happened to her sister. And we're literally just following her, going all around New York, trying to get answers on what happened to her sister. The mystery element was just so lackluster. Like, it felt like I was watching an episode of Scooby-Doo. Like, it just felt so, like, it just felt a little childish. Like, it didn't feel, it felt like it was... It felt like it was a mystery book pretending to be a mystery book. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, it didn't feel real. Like, I was highly aware of the fact that I was listening to a book that was supposed to be a mystery, but like, I just didn't care. Like, I was just like, where's this going? Like, so many dead ends. Like, and then like, the answer was staring her straight in the face. And the whole entire time, I kept thinking that I knew what was going on. And I ended up being right. And I'm just like, you mean to tell me that I was right the whole time? I was hoping we went into a different direction with this. But like, I was right. And the amount of times, the dialogue was terrible. The amount of times the main character said shit nuts really bothered me. Like, it really scuffed my Timbs. The way she just kept saying it. And I just kept saying to myself, is this supposed to convey how like quirky and like corny she is? That she keeps saying this? Like, it was weird. I was just like, can she not say something else? It was just coming across really like, oh God. Like, I was rolling my eyes. Like, honestly, it was really hard for me to take this book seriously. And I feel like, being that a book is a mystery, like, especially, this is not marketed as a cozy mystery. Maybe if it was marketed as a cozy mystery, it might work, because you know, when you read cozy mysteries, there's like a little kind of playful element to it. It doesn't take itself that seriously, but I felt like this was supposed to be serious, but it wasn't. Like, it just felt so unserious to me. Okay, so the next book is Everyone Here Is Lying by Lapena. And I do want to say that I liked another Lapena book, which was The Couple Next Door. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. So when I saw that she was coming out with another book, I said, okay, I will check this out on audio, of course, because I do like mystery thrillers on audio the best. Now, this book has a very good opening. This book opens where there's a man named William, and he is at the motel with his sneaky link. His sneaky link happens to be a married woman. By the way, William is married. William's sneaky link is a married woman that is pretty much their neighbor. Okay? So they are having an affair at the motel, and then the sneaky link breaks it off with him when they finish doing what it is they doing. She breaks it off with him like, you know what, I really don't think we should be doing this anymore. It feels wrong, and I have a family, and blah, 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 right? So he's pissed off because he's started to fall for his sneaky link. He gets home, and this is during the day, right? He gets home, and he sees his 9-year-old daughter in the crib eating snacks. And he goes off on her ass. Because, like, what are you doing here? You supposed to be at school. What are you doing in this house right now eating snacks like everything is good? I'm already in a bad mood, and you really pissing me off right now. Because she starts talking, flipping that smart mouth, and he just really wasn't having it, and he loses it on her. She gets upset, she storms out, and the book takes off from there because she does not come home, and she is now missing. That is what this book is about. The fallout, everything that happens afterwards, after she is missing. Now, I will say that on this list of worst books, this is probably the one that I didn't hate as much as I hated the other ones, but I still didn't like this. I still didn't like this. I feel like we find out what happens to her too early in the book, and I feel like it ruins it a little bit. Like, it just kind of, like, I feel like it should have dragged out a little bit longer to kind of build that suspense. And once we figure out what happens with her, we're just kind of like, oh, okay. Because when you don't know what happened with her, you're on edge, right? You're on edge and you're like, oh, could it be this? Could it be, who was, because it's a lot of, in this neighborhood, that's why it's called Everyone is Lying. In this neighborhood, they all are kind of like connected to each other. This family got this going on. This person got an older brother that kind of be saying, like, it's a little, it could be anybody that has had something to do with her disappearance. And I feel like it should have been dragged out a little bit longer, because once we find out what is the story with her, the story doesn't feel the same. To me, anyway. To me. The best part is the fact that, obviously she's missing, so this puts the father in a very tight situation, because, sir, what were you doing home during this time? You were supposed to be at work. Oh, you saw her? Oh, wait, you didn't see her. Are you the last person to see her? Like, it's the police get involved. There's some interesting parts here. But I think as a whole, especially from the second half to the end, it's kind of like, and then like the end, it was supposed to be a little plot twist, but I just feel like it didn't hit as hard as it was supposed to. All right, now let's talk about Immortal Longings by Gong. And I just want to say, I really did not read a lot of fantasy books this year in 2023. I did not. And this definitely didn't make me want to read more fantasy in 2023, because I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to start there, because I haven't read any fantasy. Well, when I finished reading this, I was like, child, I'm going back over to urban fiction and romance and all the other places where I am enjoying myself, because if this what fantasy got going on, I am so good. So good. This book is about a girl named Princess Kellye. 5 years ago, Princess Kellye killed everyone in this palace, including her own parents, so that she could take down the monarchy. It didn't work, because they currently have a king at this very moment. So she feels like, so she's been in hiding for 5 years. And now she feels like she needs to come back, and she needs to finish the job by killing the current king. So the current king right now, he has an adopted son named August, who he is grooming to take over the throne once he dies, right? And then there's another character that we follow named Anton. Anton used to be a part of the royal society, but he has been exiled. And he is now living in the outskirts, and he is taking care of his first love by pretty much doing whatever he needs to do, stealing, killing, whatever, to make sure he has, necessities that him and this girl needs, right? Now, the magic system in this fantasy world is these people can, especially if you have royal blood, you have the ability to jump bodies. So you can jump in anyone's body, pretty much. If somebody that's also strong is already in the body that you're trying to jump in, whoever's the strongest is gonna win out, right? You can jump out of your own body, so your own body becomes just like a shell with nobody's in it. So it's interesting how they can just jump from body to body. That is pretty interesting about the magic system, but that's kind of where it stops for me, because the entirety of this book, there is a game where they get all of the poor people, and they have a game where it's pretty much a fight to the death, right? Now, it's very much giving Hunger Games. And it was very much giving Hunger Games without the characters that we give a damn about. I will say that. Like, I just feel like these 3 characters that we are following throughout this novel, we didn't get enough of them to really feel like, oh man, I really want her to make it, you know? So August, I don't want to get ahead of myself. August, the king's adopted son, he finds Princess Kellye, who was in hiding. He finds her and puts her into the games. He inserts her into the games because he knows that she is about that life and she kills people. He wants her to win because once you win, you get a sit down with the king, and he wants her to kill the king so he could be king, right? But if she wants to kill the king to destroy the monarchy, then how is August gonna just walk into being king? You know what I mean? So all 3 of these people have different motivations for why they want to win or have this person win. Now, Anton and Princess Kellye, they decide to team up, and it is kind of like a enemies to lover type thing. Now, that part I did kind of like because the flirtiness between them, I did enjoy that part. But I believe this is supposed to be adult. And besides the sex part, it did still feel a little YA. Like I said, it was giving Hunger Games because it's very similar. Oh, these games where you have to fight to the death for rich people's entertainment. And that's literally what was going on. You see them fighting on the screens. They have little bracelets, and the bracelet, they might get like a special thing that tells them where somebody else is. But the good news about the body jumping is that you can, if you think you're about to die, you can jump out of your body and into someone else's body. But now that body is no good anymore because it done got poked up with holes from stabbing. So you can't use that body no more. But yeah, for me, it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And I hate that this is my first Chloe Gong book. I am told that her other books are pretty good, so I may still give her a chance by reading her other stuff. She probably just really writes young adult fantasy much better, because this, even though this was supposed to be adult, it felt very YA, and I think that that's probably the sweet spot for her. But we'll see. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you've read any of these, and give me a like, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.